And he has a sequel.
Welcome to the Retro Ranger wrap-up. This isn't retro.
No.
This is Ranger wrap-up.
It's Ranger wrap-up.
You know what? We're in the end game now.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Why am I zipping down?
I know, why are you zipping down? Zip up.
Why are you zipping down? We're going to be talking about today's episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Beast Morphers.
Beast Morphers?
What show is this again? How long has it been since I've been?
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm Ron Burgundy. We're going to be talking about today's episode of Power Rangers. We're also going to be talking about just Ranger Nation in general. Jezzer's frustration with it. Yeah. We actually did
I got a little Twitter war. Not Twitter war.
Yeah, really?
Did you really?
Yeah.
With who?
With whom? Yeah.
I can say the name?
Yeah, go ahead.
Me and Toku got a little argument with Toku Chris.
Oh, Toku. I like Toku Chris.
Oh, really?
I do, yeah.
For what?
Oh, they were talking about like, Power Ranger crowdfunded things and how stuff never comes out.
That's just
that's
the internet.
crowdfunding though, yeah, isn't it? I mean, that's just.
I mean, if you're gonna invest money into something, you at least got to know that there are some, it's not always gonna be 100%, and you may lose your money.
True. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that is the true. Yeah, I mean,
that is the true.
That is the true.
Anyway, I'm Joe, joined by Daniel and Jezzer. If you want to know who Daniel is, he's the guy that will talk over me. It'll just stumble. I'm just kidding.
I do.
The Jezzer here. Me and Jezzer were in Chicago last week.
Yeah, and his whole mission, was trying to get me sick.
With those giant hands.
Yeah.
You know what? So I've been people. I don't know. You can look it closer. I have been told that I have really thick hands.
Dude, those are yeah, ham hocks. That's it.
Girthy.
Whoa,
and when we were
that's a word ladies love.
When we were in Wonderland, like swelled up for some odd reason too. Anyway,
I think you're allergic to something that you don't know that you're allergic to.
I think it only happens when I'm with you because it didn't happen in Chicago.
Yeah, a little bit.
Right?
Yeah.
It didn't happen in Chicago.
I was not the big spoon. He was a big spoon.
Fun fact I learned about Jezzer. Fact I learned about Jezzer. He does not like bare feet, like at all. So, like, I was messing with him, I was gonna put my actual bare foot on his bed. And he freaked out, and then even to the point, I was like, this is gonna sound really weird. I was pinning him down, trying to take off his socks, and he was like, "Stop it!" He was like flipping out. What's with you and this bare feet thing?
I don't know, man.
See, you guys always talk about bread and me, so this barefoot thing is kind of it's a bizarre.
There must have been something that I've been pushing down and not trying to explain.
We're gonna have some moment one day where it's gonna be a breakthrough and we're gonna find out one day when I was asleep, everyone put their feet on my face or something weird.
Something dark like that, yeah.
So talk to me, chat me up about the girl that you broke up with because of this barefoot situation.
I didn't break up with her. I didn't. But
yeah. This is
Power Ranger feet. Put hashtag Power Rangers feet.
No, God, no, don't do that.
But isn't that was it not weird?
Yeah, well, she used to always get on the bed and not have socks on, and I get mad. And we used to get in a lot of fights about it.
So you really argue with her because she'd put her feet. Wow, man. Well, hey, you know what? Everybody has
she
their
didn't
thing.
like my feet either. So I don't know why she was getting.
Well, yeah, you have little hopping feet. But back to Power Rangers. Now, I have a question for you guys. Are you guys reading the comic books?
No, I have to catch up.
I haven't caught up, but I'm going to catch up.
Yeah.
Because Ryan Parrott's going to...
Neither am I, but we are going to catch up, and here's the reason why. Mm-hmm. Ryan Parrott is going to be on the show pretty soon, and I think we're going to start talking about the comics again to give us more content.
Well, he said he's from here.
Yes.
So what if we have him
hold on.
all the time?
We didn't talk about your Twitter controversy.
Yeah, we did.
No, what was it over?
Okay, so there is some...
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah. There was some...
wasn't paying attention.
There's something that Michael Copan had posted. Have you guys seen that picture on Instagram?
No.
Where he posted a picture of him and Jason Font kind of hugging him around the shoulder, and he put I think Brokeback Rangers or something, and then he said in the caption, "It's time for butt force," and people just went crazy.
In a good way or bad way?
No, super offended, super mad at Michael Copan.
What?
Super mad. They said it was
It was it two adults?
Offensive to the LGBTQ community.
I can see where someone would say that, but it's like...
and then I guess Toku got in this little battle with Toku Chris about... because somebody brought up, oh, well, you know what, now that I think of it, Michael Copan made a crowdfunding Power Ranger movie, but he took all his money, but nothing ever came out. And then I think Toku Kid said, "What about the order?" And it just went on.
Oh, see, yeah, because you know what, that is a soft spot. Yeah. Honestly, when it comes to like the Ranger Nation, if anyone ever brings up anything concerning the order, you will be attacked if you speak negatively concerning the order. But it's like, well,
you can't have your opinion. If your opinion is not their opinion, then they're just gonna get pissed off.
And that's not fair. And that's where it's like, okay, this is
that's why
a toxic fandom. Love the word
you know
toxic.
What? There's a couple of issues we're going to talk about this week. We're going to talk about this week's episode, but I think overall, towards the second part of this episode, if you want to stay tuned for that, we're going to talk about the Ranger fandom. And because Jezzer actually went on I guess you and I both did. Yeah. We went on a little Instagram live when we were in Chicago about Ranger Nation and kind of like our displeasure of it.
Well, it's because we were kind of putting in parallel to like the Star Wars fandom. And like, I mean, yeah, there are some bad seeds there,
but there are a lot of similarities.
But there are some people that are just very welcoming, and they're not oblivious to the actual real world outside of them.
Yeah,
you know?
Well, we even said earlier at Star Wars Celebration, I was on the Star Wars show. Shay kind of replaced me on that. But I feel like the Star Wars fans are their own worst enemy.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother issue. But we could talk about this all day long. Yeah. But before we get into that, there's a few housekeeping things we want to talk about. We do have a TeePublic store. If you go to any of your local conventions, because now we're getting into convention season, check out our merchandise.
Already into convention season?
Because you can walk away with a Hashtag Show shirt with different designs. We have the mashup shirts with movie posters. You can walk away with one of those, sport it loud and proud, just like... who was the Opera Ranger? Opera Ranger.
Yeah.
He was wearing our. He got a long sleeve of that one.
Yeah, right.
It looked good. It looked good.
Shattered Grid Infinity War one.
And guess what? This week we're going to be debuting a new shirt.
Ooh.
It's the Migdalia That's Racist shirt.
Oh yeah,
that's right. That's right.
The Migdalia That's Racist shirt. She's going to have her own shirt. We have Elle has her own shirt, the Teabagger shirt. You actually have. You actually have your own shirt.
I've got mine. Battlestar Galactica.
And I'm never going to release my shirt here.
Nope.
I will.
When are we getting?
We'll get it next week, I promise.
Why don't we release it on mine, make it private, order the shirts, and then so we can wear it.
Right, that's not a bad idea, actually.
Oh, that's
not a terrible idea.
Okay.
Yeah. You can get my new shirt, the Tony Stark shirt, because we're in the end game now. But you can check out our shirts. The link is in the description below. TeePublic is where you can go to get those. Also, join our Facebook group.
THS Hashtaggers.
That's right. There's a lot of news coming in there about not just Power Rangers, but all of the geek world.
Yes.
Jezzer starts flame wars with some of our fans.
Oh, it's always great.
You always
join in. I am just like, you never tell me when it's happening. I want to be there. I just want to say something and just make people upset.
I feel like if you join in, it's gonna just make it so much worse for them that they're gonna be like, what do I do? Like, I don't know what to do anymore.
Now,
Joe dropped mic bombs.
Not anymore. I don't really mess around in there. But
my thing is now I'm the controversial conversationalist. So I just want to go in.
Are you though?
That's all I'm trying to do.
What controvery have you created?
Hey, you know what? I don't know. Last time I checked, I said something with Jezzer, and people went crazy over it, and I still stand by what I said. So, I'm just.
I gotta be more careful because I've been getting a lot of like mom bloggers start following me now.
So,
There's another one. Our Disney rep hung out with Jezzer and I at Star Wars Celebration for one of the nights, and friend requested Jezzer, and he kind of freaked out a little bit. Hey, so and so requested me, and I was like, "You better clean up your
clean up your
Facebook."
I went through my
his whole page
reading a bunch of stuff. Oh, that's problematic. Oh, that's problematic.
Disney's not inviting you to anything.
I was trying.
But we had that, and then we also you can join that group, THS Hashtaggers. All the latest news comes in there, and we all interact there to an extent. And last but not least, it's a super chat feature. So if you want your chat heard or read out loud here on the show, hit that super chat feature, help support the show, and we're gonna go from there. Now, switching gears for a second, let's talk about today's episode. Now, I'm gonna be 100% candid with you and realistic. I did not watch it. And it's not because I don't like the show. It's because I didn't have the time to.
So at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Here's what I am gonna. Here's what I was doing at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was sleeping, and we had a water heater issue that took like 3 hours to fix. Yeah. But by the way, I saw Dan today.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
all right, that makes sense.
We had this issue. Anyway, I didn't watch the episode, so I'm gonna lean on you guys to fill me in on what happened. I'm gonna lean on the chat here. Look at that super chat already.
Super chat. Bat Tusi Fella. Changing his name. Today's episode reminded me of Gokaiger / Go Buster movie.
Only because of the heavy use of the like robo aids or whatever.
Daniel, why don't you check in with the chat real quick? What's everybody talking about? My buddy Toku. Toku's actually going to start a new anime show with Daniela over here. Hopefully, we'll talk about that later.
She's like, what?
She's like, what? That's news to me.
We got a lot of hellos, and then after that, we get into Udana and 2017 Billy and Battle of the Grid. That's Thomas Franco speaking about that. Oh, he must be talking about the Legacy Wars in a game. We've got Shadow Nova Productions. If we're doing unpopular opinions, mine is
what is it?
I love Power Rangers Operation Overdrive theme song.
Oh, God.
He said, hey, we're doing unpopular opinions. He's going to tell you exactly
What's this one say?
Oh, man.
Is that Jared Hodges?
Oh, Jared Hodges. Nice to see Joe is back, but where is Johnny and Justin?
I might be mellowing. I might be mellowing in my age, but if I'm not mentioned in the first chat, I'm fucking out of here. That's the Robert Downey Jr.
I did read now. I'm out of here. I didn't see my name. But they will be here. Actually, they'll be here for the show following after, which is Henshin Hangout, where you'll be able to see all three of the Henshin Bros, which is rare. But apparently,
why is that a rarity now?
Because they're so busy. All of them are now doing stuff.
Justin's getting his name on like Blu-rays.
Yeah, they're like, oh, hey, is that a Blu-ray? Oh, is it Justin's name on it? No, it doesn't. I'm not
doing
buying
like Blu-ray signings.
Yeah, I saw him actually sitting inside of a Target just signing Blu-rays and giving them out to people.
I will say this though, that I'm happy to kick off our Saturday lineup. We have a lot of shows that are on today. You're on like 3 of them. I just realized you're the new me.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Are you?
I'm on 2.
Oh well, whatever.
Wait,
you run the other 2.
You run the other 2.
Fair enough.
Dear God.
You're here all night, buddy. Thanks.
You're the new Ryan Seacrest.
So let's do this.
I don't want to be Ryan Seacrest.
How did you know it was an accident?
Yeah. Who is Primetime?
Primetime? I don't know.
How you doing with the accident? I'm doing better. Yeah. My back is all right.
You know, when that happened, I was like, oh shit, I'm going to Chicago by myself.
Yeah, he did.
You know what the worst part is about this whole thing? Was that our flight was supposed to leave at midnight, and I was supposed to be at the airport at 10.
Yeah.
Jezzer's, the flight that we were on got delayed by like 5 hours. You didn't leave until like 6 or something.
5 o'clock in the morning.
I actually got back from the ER earlier than that, and I probably could have made the flight had I known that. Yeah. But I was perfectly happy to stay in LA.
Yeah.
And then we almost got snowed in our last day in Chicago.
We're literally looking at our phones just waiting for the update. Don't get canceled. Don't get canceled.
Well, yeah, if we would have taken the American flight, which was earlier, that got canceled on Tuesday.
And I didn't even have a seat. Like I was
you said it on the Instagram Live. That's right, you did say it.
Oh, he was freaked out. He didn't have a seat either.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're forcing me to buy one of those premium seats.
If you ever travel with Jezzer, I'm sure that none of you will, but if you ever do travel with Jezzer, he freaks out getting to the airport. He freaks out.
Okay, no, see, Jezzer, because Jezzer is...
He literally made me pack the next morning. He was like, pack right now.
Because Jezzer is very punctual.
Say that.
Jezzer's very punctual, man.
Bastard.
You can't be mad at a guy for being punctual and then having to worry about all the things that go into going to the airport and somehow stopping you from getting there.
Thank you so much, Primetime, for caring about me. Anyway, let's talk about the episode. Now, break it down. What happened?
Well, actually, Thea Games says possibly the best breakdown for it. Basically, the Beast Bots want to throw a party for the Rangers and thank them, but a monster related to rails and trains takes the memories of Cruz and Smash, which is the red and blue Beast Bots. I
will give this show. The villains have better plans than the villains in last season.
They do. They do. And
they make sense.
They're constantly working on trying to make sure that their goal is still met.
Because I love it. They knew that if they messed with the Beast Bots, they couldn't form the Zord.
Well, then they could also take control of the Megazord, and that is smart.
Yep.
Like not just let's stop them from having a Megazord, but if we go ahead and control or take the memories of all 3, we can access the Megazord. And that was like, that's smart. Why not do that?
You know who pissed me off as far as Power Ranger villains is Rita. She could have made a bunch of monsters, attack the kids when they're teenagers, all at once. It could have been really good.
I mean, I always never thought about the logic too, but like if you wanted to make it dark, obviously it's a kid show. We're talking about kid show.
Yeah.
But
if
you do want to make it darker, why did Rita never just attack like their parents?
Oh,
making it really dark.
Jeez, wow, you were a kid show.
Kimberly's parents are getting a divorce. They had a lot on their plate.
That still would have been worse.
They do touch on that. That's why the comics is so interesting to me. They touch on that backstory. Now let's talk about these Rangers in specific. This is the 7th episode of the season. Is anybody in particular growing on you?
Oh,
that's a good question. For me,
we're into this junket style.
Yeah.
Honestly, when it comes to out of just the 3 Rangers, or are we even counting
everybody?
Nate?
We'll count all the cast.
Okay, all the cast.
Nate's growing on me.
Of course, our new Bulk and Skull, definitely they've won my heart.
Little Ming
definitely
Na?
for them. Yeah, dude, dude, they've won my heart. They are great because the thing is, they get to be the comedic relief without being like mini villains to the Rangers.
Why if they do the live action Mulan movie, which I think they're planning, why don't they hire her to be Mulan?
I don't know.
Oh, have they cast Mulan already?
They already
Okay.
cast. Because they're playing her as Hispanic in this, or they're playing Benny as Asian in this. I
don't know. Actually, we don't know because we don't know if he adopted them. We don't know if he just has like, oh, this is from wife number 1, this is from wife number 2. We don't know how he's doing it.
They're supposed to be twins.
I thought so. Is that so? It is. They are twins.
Yeah, that's
okay. So then, I don't know what's going on there. Okay, something's weird.
So you both. Who are you guys attaching to from the cast currently? I'm asking you guys in the chat.
Jezzer, what about you though? Who are you?
Nate. He's like that. He's just staying in the back and doing his thing.
For me, it's Roxy.
Roxy?
Oh yeah.
Roxy?
Oh yeah.
Roxy?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Roxy is definitely good.
The person that's I'm having a hard time connecting with is Ravi.
Why?
Like he's so dry. He's so dry. Oh, let's practice. Let's do this. Oh,
well, if you had
on my
now here's another question. Here, see, there's another one from Batusi. I'm over Ravi though.
Yeah.
Got a question for you guys. Now, if you had to compare this cast to their Rangers to past casts, who would you kind of compare them to?
Oh,
shoot, that's tough.
That's tough because it's each individual one's can be compared to another.
That's what I'm saying. Another season or another character.
Yeah, Robbie. Who's the character that?
So, what did you say? Sky from SPD?
No, I'd say Troy.
Wow, is he that dry?
He's that dry.
Okay, I was gonna say someone who felt disattached. I was gonna say that would be it.
That's nothing against Andrew. Andrew's like great. He's
no, but his character was supposed to be that way. His character was supposed to be dry, and he was supposed to be almost detached. Ravi is not, but yet he definitely is in every way they have him played. So I think but it seems like they were trying to humanize him on this episode a little bit because the moment where at first where you thought he was gonna
smash.
no, he was.
Wait, what did you say?
He
was a
became
dick
that
to
way.
smash?
Yeah.
Well, that's
what is that? What you said?
That's the dude's name. His name is Smash.
Did you say he was a dick to smash?
No.
Is that what he said?
No,
that's
see, now that you pointed that out, it's going to be cut.
He was a dick to the robot. He was a dick to the robot, to the beast bot named
He was a dick to smash.
Yes.
That still doesn't sound any better.
No, it doesn't. He was a dick to the beast bot named Smash.
Oh boy.
So
Nagami, is that a picture of?
That's a T-shirt.
He was a dick to Smash. That's a T-shirt.
Smash live action.
There you go.
Smash live action. So let's go over some of the comments right now. What are some people saying about the current cast?
Right now, Ravi to Troy in Megaforce. I take back it's Devin and Blaze. That's what Jared Hodges says. We also have Devin and Zoe are my faves so far as the personality. Roxy is ruthless.
I like Primetime. I said this on the stream. Primetime says Ravi gives me a fuckboy vibe.
Yeah, because you said that. Dang, dude, that's messed up though. How does he really give you that?
Let's talk about this for a second now. With the major plot of this episode, what did you guys think? Because the storyline is progressively getting better from past seasons. I mean, it's a pretty decent season as of now, right? So, what do you guys think about this week's particular episode?
It was good. It was establishing the Beast Bots as characters, as not just.
So starting to make you care.
Not just background. You know, they're actually people that you feel for.
Well, see, that's the thing, because we were complaining about that. Mm-hmm. We were complaining about the fact that it was like, yo, this is the thing that we're always dealing with. No one is, like, in the Japanese ones or everything we're getting everywhere else, the Beast Bots were important. They had personalities. We haven't had a personality yet. And then, boom, here we go. We get it. And it wasn't all that great, but it wasn't bad.
No.
It just wasn't all that great.
It's getting there.
Hey, Josh, can you wind me? Yes, thank you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. They did at the end. They did their own kind of like button scene where earlier in the episode prior, Scrazzle showed up at their base and took a lot of equipment from their base. And this is the helmet that's going to be used for the not the Beast Bot, but the silver.
I sometimes wish
silver ones, right?
that you and I were at a restaurant just talking, and you literally said that sentence. The Scrazzle is whatever you just said.
Scrazzle infiltrated their base.
What are they talking about? And then I'm going to turn to them like, you fucking heard me. Like, what are you saying to me right now? I don't even know. Like, you're speaking in code.
Scrazzle, the secondary bag.
I don't know what either of those are.
Go for Manship. It's the other one.
Is that cooking wine?
Both of them.
Sure. Surprise me.
Red or white?
Red.
Yeah.
Thank you. Here's the thing, though. I do, from what I have seen so far of this season, I'm not fully caught up, and I don't even know why I'm on the show. I'm so you. I don't know why I'm here. But I missed everybody.
Hey, yeah, well, you know what? The fans clearly miss you as well.
Hey, people watching at home, did you actually miss me? Did you miss me? Because I missed you.
You didn't.
What? Hey, shut up. I did.
Jezzer, right? Okay. I look right at you like,
he's lying.
I missed most of everybody.
I didn't.
That's great.
Jezzer, I didn't.
That's really good, Josh.
Oh, man.
But yeah, all in all, it was a decent episode.
No, it was definitely a good episode as far as, once again, we got to build characters for the B-Spots. We also kind of addressed some things concerning the connections with the Rangers. The Rangers and how they see the B-Spots.
Yeah.
Because it was like, we saw this before, how they were like, oh, this one's overbearing, this one's forgetful, this one does this. Like, you know, they had their complaints, and they were kind of like magnified on this episode.
Yeah.
But it was for a reason why each one of them was doing what they did.
I bet they felt bad when they realized they were throwing them a party.
Dude, but before they figured out they were throwing them a party, it took Nate to say to the yellow one, like, Zoe, he was like, these guys are dicks. Like, the way he said it, he was like, these guys, they're taking them for granted. I wish I had a bot to be like, you know, because I don't even have a brother. I wish I had a bot, you know, like, I was like, dude, exactly. So it was like, no, but I get where Nate was coming from, and also, hey Nate, how you doing?
Great part.
So I got that.
Are you guys finding that they're actually building Nate's backstory up more so than the other characters?
Yeah.
They definitely are, but the reason is because they need to. Everyone else, we know exactly what's happening. So now is that time for us to build on Nate, because soon we're gonna have a moment where he turns into
a Ranger.
the Ranger.
Devin's shirt is too on the nose. It's way too on the nose. It's like, Jesus.
We want to make sure that you know we're not.
He's a red jaguar.
I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice that there was a cheetah on it.
Jezzer, do you think they're handling Nate's character better than first season Billy?
Yes, it took him a while. It took him a while to figure out what they wanted to do with Billy.
Yeah.
I don't think it wasn't until
second season, maybe third season. Actually,
I think Alien Rangers is when they figured.
Here's the thing, though. Do you think that right now Chip Lynn and the creative team are learning from past mistakes?
Yes and no. There are certain things that they are doing, you know, that's on the right trend, but there are still some things that they're like.
I think they're doing a great job so far. What about you?
I definitely think they are. You can see it by them having a through line that is consistently brought up in every episode, even when you think it's not going to, they still bring it up.
Bless you.
And that's something that I feel that they finally have learned, because prior they didn't. Prior they didn't.
Yeah.
They would sometimes just forget it and be like, we'll go 4 episodes, and then, oh yeah, remember that thing we talked about? Here, yeah, it's still there. Don't worry about it, though.
Daniel, give me your highlight for this episode. Give me your highlight of this week's episode.
Honestly, highlight for this episode was the end.
Wow.
Like the whole
saw the credits
scene.
there?
No, the whole button scene where I was like,
hey,
I remember that thing.
Credits?
No, I remember that thing. There you go. The helmet again.
Jezzer, how about you?
That's what I loved.
The part where the monster did not look anything like the train that it was.
That's your highlight?
Yeah, that's my highlight.
It did not do when they find.
Let's not try. Let's just. It's close enough.
No, and then what they did, they had them line up and do this.
Do you think you guys want to see me get in some trouble? Watch this.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Watch this. Hold on. This is what you call trouble.
Stop.
Hold on.
Wait, are you just? No, don't do that.
Stop it.
Hold on.
No, go away.
You can keep watching, bro.
Oh my god.
Why not?
You're a monster.
So let me see in the chat right now.
It's not even playing. Relax. I can't even get it to play.
Bad2C does say Devin seems
Ready?
to wear that kind of shirt often in episodes. I've seen him. So Devin apparently does wear shirts that are like, yo, this looks like definitely I'm the Red Ranger. You can tell because I have a cheetah on my shirt and blah, blah, blah. I mean, after a while, no one took the time to be like, hey, wait a minute. You're here and you're just... No, you're fine.
No, that's her daughter.
So, I mean, but yeah, like no one's ever said anything about that. No one's ever noticed that about Devin.
But all in all, yeah, they're doing good. What?
Are you trying to zoom in on the phone over there?
He's like, what's going on the phone? But before we even say what we're ending the episode or going into what's happening with the Ranger Nation, we do want to know exactly what you guys think out there concerning the episode. So please give us your audience score. Let us know what you guys thought about the episode.
Stop it, you son of
a... while you guys are telling us your scores, we will go ahead and share our scores with you. So, Jezzer, what do you think about this episode?
We're in the end game now.
Stop it, dude.
I'll give it a 4.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A 4 out of 5?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And for me, if I had to give it a score, honestly, this definitely does get a 4. This episode, even though you would think it was a filler, there was some definitely character development, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. Joe, just from our brief description,
I'm going to give it a 5.
All right, there you go.
I'm going to give it a 5. This episode's a solid 5.
Really
we
good.
explained it really well to the point.
I'm not giving the episode a 5. I'm giving you guys the 5 for explaining the episode to me. So now I'm not going to watch any this season. I'm just going to based on what you tell me, I'm going to rank you guys. That's a solid 5.
Honestly, you know what? That would be dope.
And then I'm going to go back and watch the season. I'm like, you guys were way off on this one. This episode sucked.
To the people that say that we nitpick every little thing, you know what? Fuck you. I don't care.
Yeah, I thought you were going to be nice.
Oh my God, Jezzer.
All right, so
the views of Jezzer are not necessarily the views of that.
This is a very important question.
We have to have like a little disclaimer.
Yeah.
Very important question I have to ask you.
Yes.
This is 420. So if you were to see any ranger to be the biggest stoner, which ranger are you choosing?
Oh man, we're gonna burn him out like that.
Well, I know one now. But,
I know a few.
Yeah, I know right now. But
the biggest stoner.
no, just when they were
their character.
Rangers,
Their character. Let's not go personally. Let's say their character.
I'm going for Rocky.
Rocky?
Dude,
actually, that's not a terrible choice.
was Rocky and everything.
That is
and then
not
also, I would
choice.
go for Jason at the time where he was always late and forgetting
Tommy
everything.
was always,
I mean, I'm
Tommy.
talking not Jason, Tommy. Where Tommy was always late and forgetting everything. So those two would be the ones.
So you would say Rocky.
And their
How about
characters.
Oh, we got another super chat.
Who was that dude that owned the pizza place in that Jungle Fury?
Jezzer being
RJ.
Jezzer.
RJ.
100% it's RJ.
RJ is he's a pothead. 420.
Larry does say it. Larry does say it, and he says it right. Jezzer being Jezzer.
Show that comment. It
Show
says,
it.
Okay.
Jezzer, it's your job to nitpick. Fuck it.
Yeah,
He's right. It is, and people don't understand that. It's like you tune in for our opinion on the show. We're here to critique it. So yes, this is what we are
First
doing,
off,
and people get upset when we do.
Hasbro does not pay us to, or they're not, giving us anything to.
They're not?
sugarcoat
Seriously, there's
it.
a giant box over there.
I was like,
That's Transformers.
It's true.
That's
Giant box over there.
Still
Hasbro
counts.
sent us.
That's not
Still
Power
counts.
Rangers. That's Transformers.
okay, so we got some audience scores.
All right. No.
And we got Shadow Nova Productions gives it a 5 out of 5. We got Larry gives it a 5. Jared Hodges gives it a 4. We got Spider-Man gives it a 4 out of 5. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Spiderman. Gives it a 4 out of 5. Edward Sanchez
Wait, is that not how
Productions
you
gives it a
spell
5.
Spider-Man?
No, it is Spider-Man.
Okay.
I just said it.
Okay, you're just making me trip.
Edward Sanchez Productions gives it a 5. Ronald Doe gives it a 3.5 out of 5. Thea Games 10 gives it 5 out of 5. Jay Ranger Julian gives it a 7 out of 10. And Thomas Franco 4.5. Demolition Man 4.5. 3.5. And that is it. Oh, Batutsi 4 out of 5.
So I'm not a marijuana smoker,
Okay.
but here's the thing. If you were to smoke with any one of the Rangers, who would it be?
Ooh.
It's 420. Why not, right, guys?
Yeah,
It's 420.
It'd have to be Rangers in California because it's legal in California.
Yeah, right. I mean, right.
You're not gonna burn them out.
I'm gonna tell you right now
Yeah, that's
who
true.
my choice would be,
Okay, go.
and it's mainly because she's a goofball anyways. But I pick Ciara Hanna.
Oh,
that would be a good one.
1,000.
Yeah, that would be a good
Oh
one.
man, that would be a
She's-
good
You know
one.
what? Picking from that team, I think Azim.
Dang!
Dang,
Oh
Azim.
man.
He'd be great. Azim would be funny.
Who you got?
Blake Foster, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because he looks so chill at all the cons, man. Every time you see him, he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" Blah blah. So nice. That would be mine. That would definitely be mine.
We should change the title of this stream to "Getting High with Power Rangers."
Nope.
Nope.
That's gonna get flagged so quick.
Immediately.
They're gonna be like, this is not representing the brand on the right line.
Yep.
All right, so let's move on to another topic real quick. Jezzer, let me talk to me about your first. No, I'm just kidding. I actually want to talk about.
Oh, my first. What?
I want to talk about Ranger Nation, and I'm not here. Listen, I really see things from a different perspective now because earlier on this year, I'm not gonna lie. I would say the fandom really burnt me out of this whole thing.
Honestly.
Not
Me too.
not just the fandom. I'm not blaming anybody in specific.
No.
Not just the fandom, but also the studio itself. Really, kind of like it really irritated me to an extent because we were having to deal with them a lot. But now my mindset is kind of like back. I think the fandom is good. I think that you guys are in a good place. I would strongly recommend, though, don't be Star Wars fans. What I mean by that is don't tear each other down don't tear each other down because you have differing opinions. That's how you cause this kind of toxic environment. Jezzer kind of talked about it last week when we were in Chicago, and I'm going to let you kind of elaborate more on that.
Oh, we did. Hold on. He had a super chat. Bat2C fella says, I'm happy the Rangers no longer comment in fights. They do. We'll get to that later, but.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Well, we got another super chat.
Larry Newbill hits with a super chat and says, by the way, next year will be 420 all month when you stop and think about it. All for 2020.
Oh, yeah. Next year's April is going to be great.
Yeah, right? It's going to be amazing, people.
So let's talk about this real quick, because the fandom is obviously something that's huge in Power Rangers. Because if it didn't exist, we wouldn't even be doing this show. But I do have to say this too. I know that sometimes a lot of you guys think I'm very harsh with you, and I am, because I am. But I think that I do really appreciate all of you guys that are watching, because we wouldn't have a platform to really do this without you guys. True. Jezzer doesn't appreciate you guys anymore because you turned your back on him. And I'm going to let Jezzer explain further how he feels about that.
Really?
Yeah.
How I feel about what? About the fandom?
Yeah. Let it out, buddy. Give me a good cry.
I wouldn't say all of them, but I would say there are some deserters, some people that just weren't honest. I mean, you guys said you were there for
just to
people,
let you know, too,
so.
Daniel here gets kind of offended when he gets negative YouTube comments.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Actually, I really get offended when I have to deal with, being honest, yeah, it is negative YouTube comments that really make no sense to me. Like, there was one that, you posted. Yeah. Where that was stupid.
What's TF?
You guys didn't say blah, blah, blah. We did, you numbskull. We did, you ignoramus.
You
we did. But still, nonetheless, when he figured out that we did, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Great. But the problem was, you didn't take that down. You should have taken it down because you still look like an idiot. You dumb ignoramus. That's how I felt about it. But no, I don't like the negative comments sometimes where it's like, hey, we're in a community that's supposed to be very nice, supposed to be very helpful, very clean, and we're all together. And then here we go with these not even microaggressions, these blatant signs of aggression where you guys are like, oh, yeah, well, I don't like this, and I don't like that, and you guys are horrible, you guys are bad. And you're telling me what I'm doing negative when all you do is jump on my channel and say everything that's just negative? I've never seen you jump on a channel and say, good job today, guys. You guys did great. No, you have no time for that.
Hey,
you have all the time in the world to tell me how much you hate us.
Damn, good job today.
Thanks, man. I appreciate
Good job
that.
explaining the episode to me. I really didn't watch it.
Thank you.
I do want to say, though, that for all of you guys that are
That's how I
sticking
feel.
with us, thank you so much. We have a great programming with a lot of... What?
Matthew Thompson says, I never turn my back on Jezzer. ... Because I don't trust
trust
him.
Bravo,
Good
bravo,
job.
bravo.
Hey, out of all the... Never mind. Hey, we were watching this fun thing. This is kind of off the road. We were watching this these Jubilee videos, you and I, in Chicago.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen those Jubilee videos? I think Peter was on it. Peter and Yoshi were
they
on
both
it,
did them. Mm-hmm. Peter and Yoshi did Jubilee videos. But I want you guys, my homework for you guys, go and watch some of these Jubilee videos and tell me which two hashtaggers you want to see play a game called Truth or Drink.
There's Truth or Drink, and then there's that other one with Fear Pong.
Fear Pong.
Oh, the Fear Pong.
Truth or Drink or Fear Pong, because I'm going to let you guys vote on two different cast words.
If you guys do that, I will buy the Fear Pong game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a little it's kind of like a card game, but it's a bunch of little coasters.
Yeah.
And you put the little beer cup or the little solo cup on top of the coaster, and if you make it, you gotta do whatever's on that.
So you guys get to choose out of the, I think there's 19 current cast members.
Damn.
2 of them.
Okay.
If you count Jessica, it's 20.
Okay.
2 of them will play Truth or Drink, and the other 2 are going to play, what was it? Fear Pong.
I think you have to just choose one more person for Truth or Drink, because I think you definitely have to do that.
I'm not doing it. I already told you. I'll do it if I get the votes, but I really don't want to do it.
Yeah.
No way. But we do appreciate all of your support. Great job. Oh, look, there you go. There's your pat on the back. So you
Good
guys always
job,
wanted.
guys. Good job
Matthew
today.
Thompson
You
says,
guys
good
are
job
doing
today.
great.
Oh, you're ready, cool.
You know, hey, I'm just saying, we come out here and we do this work for people, and people never want to.
But imagine if it was on a bigger scale, like millions and millions of viewers. Are you gonna be scrolling through it?
No, but I try to be nice enough to make sure if someone took the time to comment on something I did, I try to make sure I acknowledge the fact they comment and comment back. I at least do that. But if we're on that level where we're getting millions and millions, I'm also getting paid. So I don't care if someone says something negative.
I know now that
I'm getting
Daniel
paid
is
a whole lot more.
Scrolling
You know?
through the comments like, oh, that's a bad one. That hurts my soul a little bit.
It does. It's like, oh, that hurt me a little bit.
I don't read the comments anymore. But what I do is I try to promote our fellow Ranger colleagues. I personally think, and this might be a biased opinion, I think we have the best Ranger show on the internet. Personally, I feel like that.
I personally do.
Super chat. Larry Newbill says, "I have the fear pong here, actually."
And nobody, and you guys already know this. Nobody can compete with our Morphin Mondays. Like we changed the game when it came to Power Ranger videos in terms of that.
Very true.
But I thank all of you guys for watching those. Jezzer has a great one up with Nico Greetham and Caleb Bennett.
Yeah, that's
Caleb
fun. I'm
Bennett.
actually gonna be.
No, I said his last name wrong. Bendit.
Caleb Bendit. Yeah.
Yeah, Bendit.
Yeah.
Caleb's great. So we're gonna have more fun with those guys. But also, here's something else we're gonna start adding to this show. I'm gonna try to do it weekly.
Oh.
When I'm here, I'm going to try to do it weekly. We're going to try to do, on Saturdays, we're going to do Call a Random Ranger, where I'm going to call a random Power Ranger every single week.
That's good.
And just call them, and you can listen to like a fly on the wall in our conversations. This will start, if I'm here next week, it'll start next week. And then we might do more of these from time to time, just doing fun things. Because we want to make this show completely different than all of the other Ranger shows that are already out there.
Yep.
We want you guys to know what we do and who we are. Jezzer is going to be on the next show with Justin. Where's Justin?
Bathroom.
Went to the bathroom. With Justin and Johnny. Oh, no, there he is. Come over here for a second. So Justin and Jezzer and Johnny, who's not here yet. Justin's going to be talking about. By the way, I'm kind of a little jealous of you, man.
Why?
Because I try so hard to get a fucking quote on a movie. You do it in one sitting.
In one sitting.
But Justin's going to be on a little bit later. Just how long?
About 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes with Henshin Hangout. Johnny Dope Kicks, who hopefully just walked in, will be on that show as well.
He better be here.
Then after that, we have the Superhero News Network.
We're doing a whole hour, so it's box office and superhero.
Oh, and Superhero.
All right, so it's a whole hour, and that's going to have who on it?
We have Justin, Johnny, Tatiana, Tony, Magdalia, if Daniel wants to be in.
There's 6 people on the show?
We're gonna be rolling out. We're gonna be doing actually a Marvel MCU movie bracket.
So we appreciate you guys joining us on Saturdays right here on YouTube. But if you want to follow along on our journeys as well on Sundays, check out our Facebook, because now we have Facebook Sundays. That's going to be Sci-Fi Show with Josh and Shay. There's the Wrestling Show with Johnny and John Pingle. You also got the Star Wars Show with Shay and Ro.
Doctor Who.
And Doctor Who with Retro Doctor Who right now with Elle and Daniel.
And
anime show coming as well. And also Retro Ranger wrap-up. So right now we're in Power Ranger Zeo. This week, I don't know, are you on this week?
Yep.
This week it'll be Daniel and Elle holding it down for the team. But thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. As Jezzer says, what you're lying, you can spend.
You could be anywhere else in the world today, but you're here with us.
We thank you all for it. And we appreciate all of your love and support. Guys, thank you so much today for the Super Chats. Can we put that up again with all the people that Super Chatted so we can give them a quick shout?
Happy 420.
Happy 420. That Batusi fella, Larry Newbill, and Matthew Thompson, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts here at That Hashtag Show. And I didn't get a chance to say this because I haven't been on this show in a while. I did do it on Instagram Live. But Jerry Hall, dude, rest in power. It's that guy was a great guy, and I know that I'm saying this a little bit late, but we met him and his family. Great dude, but
Mom is awesome.
they're a great family. So anything you guys can do to support, please do so with that family. But that's going to do it for us here at That Hashtag Show. I am Joe. This is Daniel. That's Jezzer, and that's Justin. These two and Johnny are going to be back in just a few minutes with Henshin Hangout. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Stay up to date with everything trending
in geek pop culture.